Hey there, everybody. This is Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and president of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, coming to you again with another one of our member Zoom chats. These are benefits that we offer to you as our members, and it's a way of uplifting you on our social media and our YouTube channel and through our email marketing and all that fun stuff. And today I have with me again Tabitha Rossman from Tabitha Rossman Photography. How you doing, Tabitha?
Pretty good.
Good, good, good.
Just
Now, this is a busy season for you because it's graduation and all sorts of fun stuff. And we see this a lot because you and I talk about this with social media, that we'll see that you can tell a difference between people taking pictures on their cell phone and pictures on a professional camera. And although those phones are getting pretty good, but what is the difference as a photographer? What is the difference of taking photos with a cell phone and taking photos with like a professional digital camera?
so with the cell phone, the processors are a lot smaller. So over time, those cell phone pictures you recently took are going to start to degrade over time. There's going to be new updates. There's going to be just new advances in technology that picture will eventually, you're not going to remember what you took. If you notice from when cell phones first came out to now, your photos no longer look the same, and you're kind of like, what did I take? And it just kind of goes from there on advancing technology. When you hire a professional photographer, you're hiring an investment, and that investment means I'm going to be able to see my photos from years on out, so it pays for itself over and over again. You're going to be able to have those memories for forever because they're not going to go anywhere no matter how many times a software updates, your web browser history, or like your website updates, or just any updates won't make your images disappear that was taken by a professional photographer. Now, not all photographers are gonna save. If you get what you pay for, is how I see it. When you go shopping for a photographer, if you go cheap, you may not be able to see those photos because they might have at the time not have saved the photos properly, and that'll even look bad later on. I know, me personally, I've had that happen, and when I look back on when I was in my beginning hobby stages to where I'm at now as a professional, these photos will last me a lifetime,
Mhm.
and as well as my clients.
Well, it's interesting because we'll see things and go, "Wow, that would make a really good photo." But with photographers, you're looking at different elements of what makes a really good photo. So, like, I know that there's the rule of threes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where like you've got the subject in the middle, and then you've got something on either side. And so, with that, like, and I see these Instagram reels all the time, like Instagram versus reality, because the photos look completely different than from reality. And so that's where I think a photographer, that's when we started talking about this, I was like, this is what we need to start talking about, is because we can see something that looks like a really great picture, but a photographer is looking for more detailed elements. And so it's like, when you're setting up a shot, what are those like detailed elements that like somebody who doesn't have a photography eye can go, oh, White Sands looks really cool. But you as a photographer are looking at it differently.
So what we look at is a perfect foreground for our client, or just to take a photo. So depending on what we're taking, we want to make sure that we have a really nice background, and we want to make sure that the lighting is perfect, the time of day is perfect. Some of us will use apps on our phone to tell us like, oh, okay, let's not do it here, but we're gonna do it here. I use photo pills a lot for when I do my astrophotography.
What are photo
I
pills?
found it allows you to like see on your phone where the Milky Way is gonna be at, and it'll let you set
Oh,
those shots up.
oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and you can also use it for like moonshots too. You can go around, like I used to drive around town and just look for different moonshots I could get.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's super helpful.
Yeah, and so you're looking at foreground and background and lighting. We often don't think of, oh yeah, we're facing the sun. Yeah, we want our faces lit, but now we're squinting.
Yeah. So there's also, it's funny, I also found an app for that.
Oh,
And
hmm.
it's a sun tracker app, and it tells you where the sun's going to be because you don't want the sun in your client's eyes. You want to be able to see their face, and you want to be able to position it where the sun's on the not the photographer's back, but on your client's back. But you also want to make sure as a photographer, because you can also get sometimes you can get really cool sunflowers in your shots. But if you don't want the sunflowers, then you want to position them in a way where you don't get that, because then also you'll start seeing with the sunflowers, which is pretty cool. I mean, you'll start getting rainbows that pop up throughout your photo randomly, and it just gets but sometimes you don't want all that stuff
Mm.
in it, so you have to position your client a certain way to avoid all of that.
Well, it is there's something that I know of called like the magic hour, right? Isn't that like
Mhm.
afternoon where the sun is softest, but it's still like warm? Is that a thing, the magic hour?
Yes, that is around like right now because I think we fell back an hour. No,
Hmm.
did we fall ahead? I always get that
I always
mixed up.
I get it mixed up too. I don't know. I just know the sun sets later now.
Yeah, so now that it sets later, I usually set my clients to about 5:30, 6:30, because right around 7 we start to lose our light. But that's when I get the most like just really good photos of a lot of my clients, and you just get the perfect lighting for everything,
Yeah, and
and
it's
so
just
that
because the
helps.
sun is not just like super bright, but it's starting to soften, right?
Yeah.
That like, yeah, that's. I think that's I'm not using professional talk, but I think I get what you're doing. And so, given that folks, as we're finishing up today, given that folks can take photos on their phones, what is it? You've talked a lot about just really understanding the environment of what's going
Hmm.
on in order to get a good photo. So, why should folks hire a professional photographer, which in some cases is going to cost money? But if you want these really good photos done, it's you've talked about it before. You pay what you get for, right?
Yeah. It's definitely an investment, and if you pay for a good photographer, you're gonna want to expect that those photos will be forever lasting. And uh, so you basically get paid back more than what you were, what you eventually you paid. What you paid will be paid back full with the fact that you get to keep these memories forever.
Right. And also just with photographer talent, you're able to touch things up, you're able to remove things that like, oh wow, that showed up in the photo. That probably shouldn't be there.
Mhm.
And you're able to clean those up too so that people are able to get the best photos that they can get out of a
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. Well, that's fabulous. I look forward to seeing your pictures because I know that you're going to be busy. It's graduation season and it's going to be summer. So, ooh, hopefully that schedule is going to get packed for you. So, thank you so much, Tabitha, for being here, for doing this member Zoom chat. If you'd like information on Tabitha Rossman photography, you can go ahead and look either above or below, all depending on what platform you're looking at. You can look at her website, and also we'll put her contact phone number in there. And if you're interested in booking photos, you can go ahead and contact this person right here. So that Tabitha, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and have a good week coming ahead of you because it's going to start getting busy for you.
Yep.
All right, we'll see ya.
Right, see ya.